You're listening to the British Baseball Podcast. Hello, baseball family. Matthew here with the roundup show from the 30th of May. And we had the Battle for Britain this week, which I know a lot of teams took part in, and some exciting information from there. But before we get into that, let's have a look and see what we have in domestic competition. So we will start off with the British Baseball Federation, NBL. One game played on the 29th of May, which is the Lancashire Legends away to the London Capitals at Finsbury Park. And it was the Capitals that won that game 1-0. And the second game there was won 8-0 to the Cap. Had the London Mets away to the London Legends at Roundshaw Playing Fields in Croydon. And that one went 22-3 to the London Mets, and that took 5 innings. That was game one. The Essex Arrows dominated the Hearts Falcons in Hemel Hempstead, 30 runs to 7 in 5 innings in game one. And in game two, the London Mets swept the London Legends 15-1 in 6 innings, and the Essex Arrows swept the Eagles 14 runs to 3. AAA. We had the East London Latin Boys go to Melbourne Park in Chelmsford to face the Essex Redbacks AAA. And it was the home team Redbacks that won that one 8 runs to 4. The London Marauders took on the Richmond Knights at Finsbury Park, and that was 19 runs to 1 in favour of the Marauders. And then we had the London Mammoths at home to the Essex Arrows AAA side at Enfield Playing Fields, and that was 5 runs to 3 to the Essex Arrows. Second legs, we had back up to Chelmsford, where the East London Latin Boys took a game 13 runs to 5 over the Redbacks. But the London Marauders beat the Richmond Knights in their game to sweep them 25 runs to 9. And then over to the Essex Arrows in the Mammoths game, it was the Arrows that won that one 12 to 5. Sorry. Double A. We're going over to Cambridge and Coldham Common for the Monarchs versus the Oxford Kings. Unfortunately, that game was forfeited, and it was the Monarchs that took that one 7-0 due to the forfeit. Croydon Pirates took on East London Latin Boys AA team at Roundshaw Playing Fields in Croydon, and it was the Pirates that won that 19 runs to 5 in 5 innings. Christ College in Guildford, where the Mavericks took on the London Musketeers, and it was the visiting Musketeers that won that game 23-19 in what ended up being a full 9 innings. Over to Grove Hill Ballpark in Hemel Hempstead, where the Hearts Hawks welcomed the Norwich Iceni, and it was the Iceni that won that one 26-1. And then we have the Sidewinders travelling to Floodfield in Ham to face the Richmond Dragons, and that was a visiting team win there 13 runs to 1 in 5 innings. Back to the double headers, we have the Croydon Pirates and the East London Latin Boys again, and it was the Pirates that swept the Latin Boys 14-12 in 6 frames. And then we go to Christ College in Guildford again, and it was the Musketeers that won that one 13 runs to 1 in 4 innings. Grovefield Ballpark, where the Norwich Iceni beat the Hearts Hawks 20 runs to 2 in 5 innings. And the final game down there of the day, back to Ham and Floodfield, the Sidewinders won 38-0 against the Richmond Dragons, and that was in 5 frames. Don't know why I started saying frames. Interesting. So as we move on to single A, strap yourselves in. We have the Bracknell Inferno travelling to the Brighton Jets at Waterhall Playing Fields in Brighton. And it's Bracknell Inferno that won that one 14-2. And then we have the Tonbridge Bobcats welcoming the South Coast Sea Dogs to Barley Field, and it's 7-0 to the Bobcats in that game. Back to the Jets and Bracknell Inferno, and it's Inferno that won that 14-12 in 5 innings in their second game. And Tonbridge Bobcats also won game 2, 7 runs to 0. Cardiff Merlins travelled to Bristol Bruins at Somerdale Pavilion, and it was the visiting Merlins that won 14 runs to 4 in 4 frames. Said frames again, 4 innings. And Billericay, I'm saying that wrong. I always say on Billericay in Essex Redback Single A. They welcomed the London Mustangs I don't know how many of these shows I've done. I cannot get the Essex Redbacks name right, and for which I am really sorry. And someone please tell me how to say it properly. 6 frames is all it took for the Mustangs to win 13 runs to 11. Guildford Goldcats travelled to Brighton Brewers at Waterhall playing fields, and it's the Brewers that won that one 12-5. Basinghill Ballpark in London, where the Hearts Eagles welcomed the London Minotaurs, and the Eagles won that 17 runs to 8 in 5 innings. And back to Barley Field, where the Kent Mariners travelled to see the Tonbridge Wildcats, and it's the Mariners there that won that one 16 runs to 6. And in Conair Fields in Ham, the Richmond Dukes and the Guildford Mariners played out an 11-all draw in 6 frames. In the second legs, the Cardiff Merlins won again with 17 runs to nothing in a sweep of the Brunels, and that was 5 innings. The London Mustangs went down 3 runs to 2 to the Essex Redbacks in their second game in 5 innings. And it's a Guildford Goldcats who couldn't quite do it, as the Brighton Brewers won 12 runs to 10 in 4 innings in their second game. The Hearts Eagles completed their double over the Minotaurs with 10 runs to 5 in 5 innings. Back to Barley Field, Kent Mariners won their 5 runs to 4 against the Wildcats. And you also had the Guildford Millers and the Richmond Dukes having a game there. And that was 14 runs to 13 to the Richmond Dukes. And that's it for the British Baseball Federation. Now let's go on to the juicy Battle for Britain. And this is a lovely piece here by Chris Knobloch, who was there on the day at Baseball Softball UK. And this was on the weekend of the 29th of May 2021 to the 31st of May 2021 in what was a lovely bank holiday weekend at Farnham Park. And this was organised by Chris at the Kent Buccaneers Baseball Club, who did a wonderful job. And the Kent Buccaneers description is, they're proud to announce that the incredibly popular Battle for Britain tournament will take place on this occasion. And it did. I was there at the one in September in Essex for my 40th birthday. I know I don't look that old, but yeah, it was a fantastic day there. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it down to this weekender. Everyone scores up like this. In the higher division, you have the Southwest Rebellies taking on the Northern Knights, and that ended up 1-0 to the Rebellies. BC Vectra took on Team Scotland, and that was 3-2 to the Vectra. Rebellies then took on Scotland in the next game, and that was 1-0 to Rebellies. Bracknell Blazers took on BC Vectra, and it was 3-1 to the Vectra. And Bracknell Blazers then faced the Kent Buccaneers, and they won that one 5-1 to the Blazers. In the low division, BC Vectra's second team took on the West Midlands Baseball League All-Stars, and that was 4 runs to 3 to the Vectra. Milton Keynes Box took on the University of Nottingham, and it was the Box that won that 3-2. Bracknell Inferno took on the East of England Fire-Breathing Kittens, and if they don't have one of the best names in baseball now, I don't know who does. And it was the Inferno that won that one 6 runs to 4. And then we went on to see the MK Box take on the Fire-Breathing Kittens, and that was 7 runs to 1 to the Box. Then over to Bracknell Inferno, as they played 2 games in concession. It was against the West Midlands Baseball League All-Stars, and they won the first game 14-0. And then they took on BC Vectra, second team, and they won that one 6 runs to 4. Sunday started with the sun and warmed up as the day progressed, with the second round of pool play taking place. Pitching was particularly on display throughout the day, with one at-bat featuring 12 straight strikes and foul balls. However, batters had their chance too, with the Bracknell Blazers, Milton Keynes, Rebellies, and BC Vectra second team all putting up crooked numbers at least once in each contest. So day 2 scores, let's have a look at these. The higher division, the Northern Knights took on Kent, and that was 4-2 to the Knights. Bracknell Blazers 3, Scotland 2. The Rebellies was 5, Bracknell Blazers 3. Northern Knights then faced Team Scotland, which they won 7 runs to 3. That was to the Northern Knights. The Rebellies was 3, Vectra 0. The Northern Knights then took on BC Vectra and won that one 6 runs to 4, with Rebellies capping off the day 2 for the higher division, 14 runs to 8 against Kent. In the low division, the University of Nottingham faced the Fire-Breathing Kittens, and it was the uni team that won that 9 runs to 3. The Box then demolished the Bracknell Inferno 15 runs to 1, and the West Midlands Baseball League faced the University side of Nottingham, and it was the West Midlands Baseball League that won 7-2. MK Box 14, BC Vectra second team 0, and the West Midlands Baseball League 8, East of England Fire-Breathing Kittens 0. Bracknell Inferno then got their win over the Nottingham University team, 18 runs to 0, With the West Midlands Baseball All-Stars and the MK Bucks, it was the West Midlands All-Stars that won that one 3-1. East of England Fire Breathing Kittens had a high-scoring game against Vectra 2, but they went down 7-10 as the Vectra clinched that one. And the Vectra finished off the day with 8-2 against Nottingham University team. It was the warmest day of the year, and it featured the hottest baseball action so far of the year. However, before the fog burnt off, the Northern Knights used the weather to their advantage and defeated BC Vectra, while the Southwest Rebellions advanced following a matchup with the Bracknell Blazers. The higher division final was set as a north-south divide between the Southwest Rebellions and the Northern Knights. And that took on to the final scenes. The weekend ended with a championship presentation and award to the MVP of each division. And it was 15-year-old Josh Barrett who threw a number of scoreless innings over the weekend, and he's going to be named the BSUK Player of the Week. He took home the lower division honour, while the high division's Jose Lopez took home the top prize for his play throughout the weekend, and especially in the final. Let's have a look at those final seedings. There's the Rebellions that finished at the top of the high division, and the Northern Knights in second, BC Vectra third, Bracknell Blazers fourth, Baseball Scotland fifth, and Kent Buccaneers sixth. The lower division seeding saw the MK Box sit on top of the tree, with the West Midlands Baseball League in second place, BC Vectra 2 in third place, the University of Nottingham in fourth place, Bracknell Inferno in fifth, and the Fire Breathing Kittens down there in sixth. Chris Numlock, BSUK's Public Relations Officer and Sports Broadcaster, added, after the last 60 months, it was absolutely fantastic to have Farnham Park buzzing with baseball all weekend. This weekend has shown that passion and appetite for baseball in the UK, and especially at Farnham Park, and we look forward to hosting more events like this. Congratulations to the Southwest Rebellions and the MK Box, and a huge thank you to Christine Carter and the Kent Buccaneers for organising such a great weekend. And we here, and by we, I mean me here at the British Baseball Podcast, echo those as well. Thanks, Chris. And that's it for this week's roundup. Sorry, it's a bit of a short one, but again, with the Battle for Britain taking centre stage, I just want to get as much coverage of that as possible. And if you want to get your team involved in the 2022 Battle for Britain, head on over to Kent Buccaneers page or ask Christine Carter to see how you can get your team involved. And until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.